You're watching the Action Film Writer Series.
Triple Threat, a screenplay by James Hsiao, Pam Wells, Ron Podell, Susan Hippen, G.R. Thompson. Fade in. Interior coffee shop night. A group of young people are gathered at a speed dating event. The host, a male in his 30s, steps to the front of the crowd. Host. The rules are simple. Women are at the tables. Men, you have 5 minutes with each of them. The host surveys the room. Host. Remember, a lot of you is already set in stone. Your looks, your earning potential, the color of your kids' eyes. The one thing you can control is what you do with the next 5 minutes. The host glances at his watch. Host. If you play your cards right, you can change your future. Bob and Dan, average-looking men in their 20s, stand to the side of the crowd. They're not the type that would catch a woman's eyes. Dan. This is like a Victoria's Secret catalog come to life. These women are gorgeous. Bob pops a handful of Tic Tacs into his gaping mouth. Let the games begin. Bob's feeling lucky. Dan. Come on. If there's a roll of paper towels in the bathroom, that's as lucky as you'll get. Bob. Laugh it up, Dan. It's all about strategy. Dan. Come on. This is a coffee shop, not a college frat party. These women are all sober and on full caffeine alert. Bob. They haven't met Bob. Ladies, meet your jack of all trades. Interior coffee shop corner, minutes later. Bob sits down at a table with woman number 1, a striking blonde. Woman number 1. So tell me, what do you do? Bob. I play the numbers. You gamble? I'm an investor. Money markets, stocks, bonds, equities, that sort of thing. Woman number 1 quizzically surveys his drab wardrobe. Are you really one of those Wall Street guys? Bob uneasily gulps his water. Begins speed date montage. Bob's confidence grows as he speed dates 3 women, all slender brunettes. They could be sisters. To woman number 2, I'm a doctor. To woman number 3, an actor. To woman number 4, a philanthropist. Woman number 4, is that legal? Bob, depends. The 5-minute timer rings. End speed date montage. Interior pub later. Bob and Dan work over a pitcher of beer. Bob stares dejectedly into the bottom of his almost empty mug. Dan. I don't think you'll find any of those beauties staring back there. Bob. Maybe we should have drank first. Bob's phone buzzes. He grabs it. Victorious. Reads the text. Reads it again. Snaps his phone shut. Reaches for his beer. Dan. You look panicked. Did your mom change the locks on the basement? Bob. I think it's time for Bob to pull an audible. Interior, Bob's apartment, night later. Bob paces, his hands cracking his head like a walnut. Bob to self. Think, Bob. Who is Krista Stone? Bob stops in his tracks. Okay, I can rule out the blue-eyed blonde, right? She looked like a Heather. Heathers always go for the finance guys. Or Christian Slater. Bob shakes his head and begins pacing again. Bob. Was I the actor, the doctor, or the philanthropist? Think, Bob. The color of your future children's eyes depend on it. B. Oh, why did those 3 brunettes all have to look so much alike? They even wore the same dress. Frustrated, Bob falls back in the living room couch, his head hitting the throw pillow. Bob pulls out his cell phone and curiously looks at the text again. Bob. Who are you, Krista Stone? Bob highlights her number, hesitates, and hits call. Interior coffee shop day. Bob walks across a hipster cafe to woman number 3, Krista Stone, an attractive brunette. She sits invitingly in an easy chair. Bob awkwardly kisses her hand. Krista smiles. Krista Stone. I wasn't sure you'd ever call. Bob. Sorry, I was meeting with investors. Krista. I'm surprised. In our line of work. Bob. I know, that's such a coincidence. We both do the same thing. Krista. Pretty much. Meetings are short. What really took you so long to call? Bob. I got stuck in surgery. Krista. Are you okay? Maybe you shouldn't be out. Bob. No, I performed the surgery. Krista gives him a puzzled look. Bob. I mean my character did. They both laugh. Krista. I'd love to see you in action. Bob. Well, set security's pretty tight. Krista. How tight? Krista leans forward and squeezes Bob's knee. Bob. I'll be right back. Bob sweeps up Krista's half-full wine glass and hustles to the bar. He motions for 2 more and slaps cash down on the bar. Bob glances to his left. He thinks it's Krista, but it's her sister, Katie. Katie smiles warmly and rubs a $100 bill between her fingers. Unnerved, Bob backs up and bumps into Krista's other sister, Casey, who gives him an identical smile. Rattled, Bob downs his wine before he hands Krista her drink. As he stumbles onto his seat, Katie and Casey sit down on Krista's left and right. The 3 wear identical outfits. Katie: I looked up philanthropist. Bob: You did? Well, you didn't need to. Katie: A man who gives away millions really turns me on. Bob: Well, there's more to it than just that. Come again? Katie: You mean there's billions? Bob: Well, so you're Katie and Krista, and this is Casey. Casey. Bob: Don't tell me you're triplets and you discuss everything? Katie: That's why we called you. Bob holds up his valet parking ticket for a waitress. Bob: Miss, do you validate? The waitress ignores him. Bob smiles weakly at the sisters. Katie: I was looking for a philanthropist. Casey's in the market for a doctor, and Krista just loves actors. Casey: You're the only man we've ever met who was a triple threat. Krista: A true Renaissance man. Stunned by his good fortune, Bob palms the valet ticket. Bob: Does this mean I get to choose? The sisters join hands with great emotion. Casey: We'd really rather you didn't. Katie: We do everything together. Bob: Everything? Krista leans in, a carnivorous gleam in her eye. Krista: Everything. They nod in unison. Bob looks skyward and emits a quiet "Thank you." Bob: Well, who am I to argue with sound logic? He sports a Cheshire Cat's grin and pops to his feet. The ladies lock their arms in his. They march to the door and disappear into the night. The door closes behind them. Fade out.